The Zodiac Killer, Zodiac fucking killer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dude, I'm tired of hearing about everybody else's state of bliss and happiness and shit. I mean, it's nice for a second, but I'm just going very bipolar lately with the big feelings coming and going. The hate is constant and it's constantly being stoked. And then I get alone for a minute when everything's okay for 10 minutes out of the day. And then I'll have to contend with a fucking mood swing that you're giving me probably. It's underlying stress. And I'm going to, what the fuck? Who the fuck is Will Smith? Which Will? The Will I lived with? I was in the midst of a goddamn nervous breakdown. And I didn't really disrespect him. He was driving me crazy. You got two speed addled people. Well, there's much more than just us two, but you got a whole bunch of speed people in a house. And yeah, no, I was just coming off the crazy train of the goddamn apartment, the hotels, the fucking, the whole crazy, and it hasn't really stopped. That whole chugga, it's my whole life has been 40 years of a crazy train. And I'm exhausted. Drew Barrymore had a killer idea. I told you, I've been telling you that for years. I can't believe that. She said she's in New York or wherever 54 was. I always thought it was in New York. What is that? Cali girl. And she had the best idea is you get warehouses, man. You do something like that. But when I was in, that's what I've been thinking about lately. But now I've been trying to, I'm just going to do it with this house. I have to do something like that. But she had the best idea. That's what you should do. It'd be hard to do though. It'd be a labor of love. Yeah, because I'm conflicted. People keep telling me, especially on YouTube, that nobody dances anymore. And I'm like, is that a fact? Because I'm not young like that anymore. And I never did really dance, although I would have, and I would have liked to have. And then the whole time I took your word for it, and the whole time I'm thinking, nah, that's just not true because they dance in school, and I don't think dance was ever popular, But and then she made a good reference to Paris Hilton being a DJ, and I'm like, yeah, so of course people fucking dance or just hang out because how much dancing was really going on at 54 anyway. It's just a club you go to, right? Oh, we went to a dance club. You went to a 54 type place. Well, it's not about dancing really, but yeah, you do tend to dance, and dancing's fun. It's a religious. It's like playing an instrument or something. It's or singing. It's the same thing. It's a praise to God. You know, whatever God is. It's a praise to your people, yourself, to your area, to God. It's a celebration. They talk about that all the time in life. But I'd like to know, you know, and then I think about this area and I'm like, there's not many dance clubs because it's hard to make a scene. That's the thing you got to be able to do. Like, I don't know how the clubs did it in my day, but it was, yeah, you got to be able to make a scene like that. I would like to bring that back with club kids and that shit. Those were the best times about the 90s that I can remember, really, that I think were important. Was the whole, you know, and I liked how I used to be able to spill over into different clubs and get to soak that all up. And then, because it was just great. It was fucking great, And there was always a dude like me in those clubs. When I look back, an older dude, there was always a dude like me. There was a bunch of dudes like me. It'd be super young people, age 16 and up, all the way up to like people my age. And those were like the elders of the, you go to the club and you're like, oh, these are the club elders. They're still young and they still fuck. And that was the thing. They fucked all the young bitches just like I would do. They fucked your girlfriend. They fucked my girlfriends. And you're like, oh, I can't do much about it. The club elder fucked her. But that's the way it should be. Those are the nice things about clubs. people like drugs. You know, it's a nice contained way to, and you do it like that too. You just have, you know, your doorman got to be very selective, or be under strict orders. It's not a discrimination thing. It's a club thing. You know, we're trying to keep. You know how it goes. We're trying to keep. You know, there might be a dress code. In fact, don't look like a bum. Don't come here inebriated already. You know, it's a secret list of people who get in. Oh man, I was just watching fucking Factory Girl last night, and I really enjoyed that once again. I haven't seen this since 2006, and then I was like, this is still valid. I like this movie. I like this movie. See, I identify with Bob Dylan in that one, but I would have liked to have been at that fucking factory. You know, what else do you do when you're railed on amphetamine? Well, let's make shit and make, you know, let's make media. Let's all that shit too. Just the idea of a big building, you know, of any type where you can do something. And it's just amazing. And I'm thinking about this guitar and I'm all worried about my guitar. And it's like, it's ridiculous. It's another story. Well, yeah, with the Will, I don't know. I had a feeling he wasn't from this area. I don't know where he came from, but he looked like he would have been from my area back in the 90s. And I'm thinking, but no, why is he one of your people? Who knows? Who knows? I really wanted to fuck Sarah and his other, and Will's girl there too. That's what I really want, especially Sarah though. That was my obsession with it. Then I became paranoid. I thought he was sent by a bunch of other people. I was full on having delusions at that point, and some of which were real, and then some of the unnecessary fake ones creeped in, and they stayed there the whole time I was in Schenectady. I was in a state of, I would say it was a schizoid state, but I mean, I know how to control that because I've been in and out of that state my whole life. When I start to get stressed, that's when the schizoaffectiveness comes in. Then I start getting paranoid, and but I know how to handle it usually. You know, but if you're strangers and I think you're being threatening, I go off the deep end. It was extremely stressful. It was very, very, very stressful. No, he couldn't have been sent by you. He had so much business of his own going on, whatever he was doing, you know, you can imagine. And he seemed to be popular like that. He seemed to always have something going. I liked him. He was after the first time I overdosed and died. When I came home that week, I had a new respect for him. I thought, I was thinking, he really is a good guy. He's a lot like me. And the more I fucked with him to see, because I'm older and I feel like I can fuck with people, and I'm like, this would be a good fight. Me and him, we could really fuck each other up. But I'm so glad he wasn't like that, because he was just like me. He's just like, you know, bipolar. I'm really up here, and then I could be really down here, but I'm not really into disrespecting you, and I don't like violence all that much either. He was like that. I love the kid. He was great. You know, I think I, I just got. It was such a hostile world I was coming from, because it's just like I'm trying to. It's impossible to remember. It's all a mystery when you go into those states. And people learn how to do it to me over time. They learn how to keep fucking with me, and whipping me into circles, and making me spin and dervish the fuck out, and it's just like ever since I got here, it stopped. And I'm like, thank fucking God, because I needed a breath. And then I realized what year it was, and like I'm thinking, this has just been going on too long. All this yanking the carpet out from under me shit.